What's going on, gents? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. Now, today I wanted to talk about the importance of not allowing yourself to get too relaxed when you're doing self-improvement. There comes a stage for everybody, and I mean everybody, on their personal development where you fall off a little bit. The progress you've been making slows. You're not getting the same results that you got at the very start of your personal development, where you were making all these great changes. And motivation can start to dip. You can start to lull a little bit in performance and slip into bad habits again. Don't make the mistake of then convincing yourself that the work you have previously done makes you today better than anybody else. It doesn't. And this is a mistake that a lot of people fall into. This is a mistake that all of us at some point, subconsciously will make, because you think that you've achieved all of these great things and gotten all of these good results previously, and you worked really hard previously. You see other people slacking, you see other people maybe not putting in the same work or not choosing to do the difficult work the way you have, and you'll subconsciously think, well, at least I'm not at that level. But in actuality, as they say in sales, you're only as good as your last deal. You're only as good as your last sale. You're only as good as your recent performance. And this is something that's difficult to swallow, because when you've worked hard and when you've made good changes, you don't want to then be told that your work is redundant. The truth is, it was good work. And you must appreciate your wins and the things that you have done, but don't allow your previous results to get inside your head and convince you that, you don't have to work hard anymore. You do. Sometimes we need a little reminder. A recent example in my life of where I made this mistake is in running. Now, I really don't like running. I don't want to say I hate running. I find it difficult. It's one of the most difficult things for me to do in a fitness sense. I love going to the gym. I love lifting weights, pull-ups, calisthenics, these sorts of things. Running, especially the more sort of long distance running, I find it tough, but that is exactly why I need to do it. And I found myself today going on my first run in months. I let it slip. I made that mistake. I'll hold my hands up. And I made the choice to get the running shoes and get out because I was listening to the audiobook of David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. I do have the physical copy. I've just not read it for a little while. But I was just listening to the audiobook, and he was just talking about how he would run for hundreds of miles in agonizing pain. He would stare at his shoes in the morning for 30 minutes every day, but would still go out there and run at least 12 miles every single day. I want you to imagine that, guys. 12-mile runs every single day. I mean, I'm nowhere near this. Nowhere near. That is a disgusting thought for me. Honestly, I could not imagine myself, at least at this current stage, at that level. But this guy doing this every single day, 50 years old, maybe more, maybe older than 50. And I was reading more and reading about all the difficulties that he had to go through in his earlier years. For those of you that don't know, he has a pretty traumatic childhood. He had every reason to not be the man that he is today. A lot of people who have difficult childhoods will turn to crime and violence and drugs and addiction and all of these different things. But he chose to become one of the most accomplished men in the world. Qualified Navy SEAL, got through Army Ranger School, and there was something else, but I believe he actually competed in 3 different fields. I think it was the SEALs, the Rangers, and Air Force, which is just a scary feat, because when you really look into what it takes to become a SEAL, an Army Ranger, and an Air Force tactical air controller, it's just baffling how one person could go through all of that. It's a tough process for one, let alone 3. And yeah, I was reading and I was listening, and I just thought, don't make the mistake of getting too comfortable. Get back out there. Get the running shoes back on. So today I did. I ran to the gym and I trained. And I'm going to be running more regularly. Now, thankfully, in most areas of my personal development, I'm pretty solid. Now, there's obviously a lot of work to be done, and we've all always got room to improve. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many skills you've acquired. There's always more. Always. But this particular area, running, this needs work, and it made me think to make this video as a form of reflection, but also a message to you guys who maybe have made some great changes previously, have made some excellent strides previously within your personal development, but right now are getting to a plateau, getting to a point where you're not really progressing as you should be, to wake up. To wake up and don't allow yourself to buy into the idea that previous work is how you should measure yourself. You should measure yourself by your recent work, by the things that you are actively doing. Of course, previous work's important, and it does give you merit and credibility. However, if, for example, David Goggins got fat, got out of shape, let's say developed a drug addiction, and was still making content telling people to sort their lives out, you know, change your life, mental toughness, all of these sorts of things, he wouldn't garner the same respect. People would look at him and say, oh, well, you did some really good work previously, but now you're a terrible example. Why would we listen to you? You don't even do the things that you talk about. So don't find yourself in the position where your recent performance doesn't align with your past performance. Of course, there's going to be times where there's dips and there's lulls, and sometimes you get unlucky and you're just not progressing in the way that you once were. You know, there's going to be peaks and there's going to be low points. That's different. But what I'm talking about is the mentality that, oh, I've already done it before, so I never need to work hard again. No, that's bullshit. It won't serve you well. And you're going to find that not only are you not getting the results that you were once getting, but you don't feel as good as you once felt, because you can lie to everybody else. You can put on a mask and tell everybody that you're really putting in the work and grinding and working hard on your side hustle. You know, staying on top of things, growing and leveling up, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to the man in the mirror, because he knows exactly what you've been doing. Exactly what you've been doing and what you've not been doing. So instead, I set you a challenge, like I did today, getting on the running shoes, getting out there, then going to the gym. I identified an area of my life that has been slacking recently. Identify an area of your life that you have been slacking in, and tomorrow make the first step to leveling up that little area of your life that you're not happy with. And let me know how you get on. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please kindly leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. It makes a huge difference. Every single person that subscribes, the bigger I can make this channel, the more people that I can reach, and I'd love to have you on board. Comment your thoughts down below as well. Check out the links down below in the description, and stay tuned for more from me. Thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next one.